Well, an amazing thing happened this week. Superman and Lois came to an end in its first season, and nothing woke ever happened. So that's and it's a shame that has to be one of the big highlights of it, but we are in the current era of the Church of Woke, and seen it just destroy one entertainment medium after another, and franchises and beloved characters and whatnot. And so when the Superman series on the CW was announced, I mean, oh, good Lord. Tyler Hoechlin was okay. You know, he was introduced in the Supergirl series, but it was assumed that it would be more the same of what you saw in the Supergirl series. And since the title was Superman and Lois, and it's like, Lois is just going to kick him in the balls and treat him like crap and all that. No. They had arguments and everything, but they were real. They were credible. They weren't given to, the zealotry of the Church of Woke. So instead, we had this rather credible family put into this fantastic situation where, the father of this family is an alien from another planet and fights evil in the form of Superman. And a lot of elements, I figured, since this is a CW show, I expected just teenage soap opera crap dominating everything. No. Yes, it's in there, but it's kept at the proper minimum, and it's weaved well, and it works within the overall structure and story they're telling. And the story is just family. That's the main thing about it. Even the evil plot of the villain, Morgan Edge, which the actual plot and details of it, I'm not that fond of because of what I'm familiar with Superman overall. And adding in yet another villain from Krypton. And one of the things about Morgan Edge being a Kryptonian and all that, harken back to that god-awful script that J.J. Abrams wrote for a film called Superman Flyby, in which Lex Luthor would be revealed to have been a Kryptonian and all that. And it's, oh no. But even with something like that I'm not too crazy about, but it doesn't really push me out of the story they're presenting. And there's just other ways I thought that could have been done that would be better. But they didn't do it that way, and this is where we are. But it's rather minor to the goodness of this show, the ethics of it, and the presentation. And of course, again, as I said, it's a shame that it's the metrics are what woke plots and formulaic crap that has destroyed the CW superhero shows. Even when they were immediately, it's just going to be this silly show. And you can make a silly superhero show and it would be all right and entertaining and whatnot, but it just got dragged down by crap. And a lot of it is not even really the woke aspects of it. It just became lazy and repetitive. But Superman, on the other hand, didn't do any of that. Also, the idea is that this is more of a HBO Max production than it is a CW production. It's a Greg Berlanti deal. But the special effects were, they spent some money on it, but they kept them, again, at a minimum. They give you the sweetness of it, of Superman doing some cool, incredible action scenes and whatnot. And a lot of them were very spectacular, actually, for a little TV show, But, of course, they're brief and whatnot because, hey, can't afford to do much more than that. But looked really good. I'll watch that, and then I would see an episode of The Flash, and oh no. The poor Flash. Now, The Flash was a show that, if you're familiar with my videos, I've said was a very good one. And I as much as I praise the first season of Arrow, I think The Flash had a lot more to it that was really good and surprised me somewhat, because at the beginning I was thinking this is going to be stupid and crap. Eventually it did become that, but it surprised me with stuff. And there's some similarities here, but Superman is on a whole other level. at this point, even though a lot of things are rather basic and stuff. But there's just, treasures here and there. I expected not to like the kids at all. They won me over. The brothers work well together. It's credible and believable. The relationship that Jordan has his girlfriend that's developing is all well done. And just the back and forth between them and how they concluded this. Of course, it is an old formula for CW. Love conquers all. And you know it, but it ultimately comes in how it's presented and performed, and it's rather simplistic and everything. Lois goes into the Kryptonian Matrix to find her son, and ultimately it's his brother that actually wakes him up and saves him as he's about to kill his own brother, as he's possessed by the evil Kryptonian. And there you go. But of course, it is this battle of the soul, and it's this battle of the mind, and Jordan wins over. There's also, and this was I think a Screen Rant article, and I was on a live stream with Cardinal Sin and whatnot on his show, and somebody there on the panel brought up that it's a cool thing of how they sort of reworked the whole Reign of Superman storyline in the comics, and that's pretty much what they've done. Of course, you have Steel, which was one of these. Boy, talk about subverting your expectations, and you have to think somebody was thinking they're going to think we're doing something woke here with Black Luthor. And of course, everybody, yeah, that's probably what it, but no, he's John Henry Iron. So this is, albeit from another universe, and they weaved it in here, and again, it comes to especially with the conclusion here, which was no big surprise, that John Henry Irons' daughter, Natalie, that he had with this alternate universe, Lois, is alive, and she arrives having found where her father went to. And there you go. So there's a new addition to the family. I don't think Steel is leaving just yet now that this has happened. But then again, I suppose that it looks like possibly they're going to set up his own show as Steel and all that. And maybe he will find his alternate universe sister here on Earth. And this, she won't really be his sister, but still. And of course, it's understandable. He says, look, every time I look at Lois, I'm seeing her, and it hurts. So he's, of course, it wouldn't be good for him to stay there living with the Kents and all that sort of stuff. But the other interesting aspect, and they even refer to them as the world's finest team in this, is that yes, Steel here is kind of stepping in for Batman here in that type of partnership between Superman and in this case Steel instead of Batman. And it's kind of, I thought there would be these moments where Steel's a little more rough on he might have been attempted to torture the Kryptonian woman they had to get answers out of her. And of course, ultimately, he had to use the anti-Kryptonian weapons that the DOD had and all that, and Steel had it, and Superman entrusted him with that because he felt he was the guy that wouldn't hesitate to use it when the time came to it. And this is how they ended up defeating Edge and all that. But that's very reminiscent of Superman entrusting Batman with kryptonite and all that type of stuff. So it all rounds out, and of course the overall core of family. General Lane plays into this, and they all come together, and they after the big victory they have a barbecue. And it works out. And of course there's this relationship between John and Jonathan, and so he's kind of becoming Uncle John, and I would think that they could possibly continue that to some degree. And wouldn't it be interesting if Steel is the Batman of this version, then could Jonathan be the Robin? As for Natalie showing up with her hairdo and stuff, I kind of wondered, are they insinuating that she would become the other Power Girl that they introduced a while back? I don't know if they ever did anything further with that character, but after the original Power Girl went back to Earth too, and I guess became Superwoman, the name was left on the table, and this new girl took it on. And so I don't know, there's some kind of thing happens, and suddenly she gets Kryptonian powers without being possessed by Kryptonian, I don't know, digital spirits or whatever within the crystals. But anyway, so that's sort of a bit of a cliffhanger of sorts for the next season of well, now Natalie's landed and she finds this whole other family that she knew nothing about. That's, well, really not her family, but a copy of them anyway. And suddenly she has two brothers. And so all kinds of hijinks could ensue, I'm sure. So, again, an amazing achievement in the current era. The only other CW show that shows promise still so far is Stargirl. And but Superman and Lois, I think, edges that one out. But there again, a lot of these shows like Arrow, of course, and The Flash started out pretty good. The Flash became even better, and then dipped off a cliff, and is beyond the point of return. And hopefully that doesn't happen here. And if they run out of ideas, come up with a way to end it, and don't push it into just a corpse or the corpse of a dead horse that you continue to beat in the hoping that it'll get up and right again. Once it's done, and move on to something else. But it's just so bizarre in the current era to see a Superman so well respected, and he is. So well done. That's one season in, and amazingly enough, it survived without really any shred of the Church of Woke, which is an achievement unto itself. And also, it's a pretty good show. And something I think is awfully needed, and a time that has become very, very dark and sinister that we're living in these days. And a lot of it for no damn good reason at all, So it's nice to have something that's positive and hopeful. And that's what Superman's supposed to be. It's okay to have dark scenarios and that sort of thing, but you got to have him overcome it and show the way. Yeah, up and away. Yeah. See what I did there? All right, so a good run here so far. We'll see what the next season brings. Hopefully, more of the same. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.